All right, here's a little video on how to put a Google form as an assignment in Google Classroom. All right, so this is for when you have your Google form done, everything's ready to go, you're ready to assign it in Google Classroom. Here's just kind of how to get that done. It's pretty straightforward, really. It's pretty similar to creating most assignments. You're going to create this Create button right here in the Classwork tab of Google Classroom for your class. You're going to press Create. You're going to click on Assignment if you want this thing to be graded. If you don't want it to be graded, if this is not going in as an assignment, then maybe you just want to make this material. But for my uses, for the most of the time, I'm going to open it up as an assignment, right? And so I want to now find this assignment. So I'm going to click on Add, and I know that my Google form that I want to add is day 9 of lesson 3, I believe. So I'm going to go look for day 9 here. I don't see day 9, so I will type it in here. Day 9 of lesson 3. I am looking for this loan application image. So somewhere here, well, it was easier to find the first time around. There it is, day 9. Um, if you create your Google Forms and then assign them as you create them, you won't have that problem right there. You'll literally just go to Google Drive and it'll be in your recents, right? If you just created this Google form, then it'll be right here in your one of your recents, right, under the recents tab. If you created a while back, you might have to click on My Drive and find the folder you created it in and do something like that. All right. So, okay, so I have the form in there. Notice this is what I want to draw your attention to. Grade importing. You want this little tab to be slide to the right towards grade importing. If you want to be able to import these grades fairly easily, right? If you do this, then it turns grade importing off. So I want to click on this to turn grade importing on. All right, so here's my day 9. I'm just going to copy the title from that and paste that in there. I'm just going to take my learning targets that I already have in my Google form. I'm copying from there into my Google form. No, I won't want that. Whoop, I don't want that. I want it in the instructions. There we go. That's the way I want it. And then, of course, I want to tell the students what day of the week we're going to be doing this. So we're going to be doing this on Friday. All right. So on Friday, we're going to be working on day 9 of Unit 2, Lesson 3. Okay. We got our learning targets. Everything's looking good. Okay. So I want it, yes, I want it period 5. I want it all students. I could add another period right now if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that this moment. I recommend you setting up some categories in Google Classroom with the quarters, right? Because if I put every assignment in quarter 3 in together as quarter 3 assignments, and then in Google Classroom I say only make quarter 3 assignments category count, then the students can actually see their quarter 3 grade, as a mirror image of PowerSchool. That's probably a different trick for a different tool. That's a Google Classroom trick, but it's really neat when you have these things broken up into categories. When all your assignments for quarter 3 only count in your Google Classroom, so when students open up their gradebook on PowerSchool and the one in Google Classroom look exactly the same. Due date. Since this is due on this coming Friday, the 26th, I'm gonna make it due on Monday, so they have some time to get it done for those procrastinators out there. And then I'm gonna give it the assignment. So it's where is that 222 week? I know I have this there somewhere. There it is, week 222. There it is. Now, Google, I don't need a rubric for a Google form because a Google form is its own structured. It already has a rubric built in, so I don't need a rubric. And of course, if I was doing some long form writing assignments or something, I might check plagiarism, but I don't usually check that. I need to play around more with this check plagiarism thing. And okay, am I good? I've got my due date. It is important to check all your stuff because you want to make sure all this is good when it's locked in. And the nice thing about Google Forms, it's one document for all your classes. So if you're teaching the same, say 3 sections of the same class, you can use one Google Form in all 3 classes and get your grading done all at once for all 3 classes. All right, it's pretty cool. All right, I'm going to click Assign. Everything looks good. All right, it assigned. There it is. There's the assignment. I'm going to click View Assignment. And notice that when I made this assignment, it was the standard default 100. Well, when I click this button over here, import grades, it'll import the points that are actually from this form. This form is 45 total points, and where does it get that? Well, when I made this thing, like this question right here is worth 4 points. This question right here is worth 4 points. So I may apparently, oh, I remember this. I made a lot of these double the points I usually do. Usually I make my assignments, my questions 2 points each. This time I doubled it because day 9 is like the last day of these series of lessons in this lesson series. So it's like double points. It's like you have to work on this independently, so it's worth a little bit more. You've got to put a little more into it. Since by day 9 you should really have these learning targets met. So when I click import here, remember just a second ago it's 100 points. I click import and magic happens, right? All these things have been switched to 45, right? So I don't even need to remember how many points each form is. When I click import, it'll change that. Now, no student has any grades right now because no student has actually completed this. None of the students have seen this particular assignment. But to give you an idea of what happens normally, if I go into something here, I can click, I got 8 graded. So when I click import, let's see, I don't think any new responses here, right? So nothing turned green. If anything here had turned green, that means student has new answers that didn't go into I haven't returned back in the Google Classroom yet. But like when I click on this, every student that actually completed it, after I graded it, their numbers automatically went into Google Classroom. One click, all the numbers are in Google Classroom. Now, I still got to transfer some of those assignment grades from Google Classroom to PowerSchool manually, but at least I don't have to transfer them manually from Google Classroom, then again manually to PowerSchool. So this is one of the ways that Google Forms really helps you save time in terms of the grading, just the paperwork maintenance of the grading, because it just automatically imports the grades from the form to Google Classroom. All right, so that's how to create. That's the basics on how we're creating a Google Form assignment in Google Classroom.